game, that they're willing to let the organ donor die to save another life, it's not benefiting anyone. It's not benefiting the institute, it's not benefiting the doctor, because it's just balancing out. Obviously, every doctor will do everything in their power to save every life possible. With religion, in the past, there has been a bone of contention, of course, with certain sects and religion. This is something that is constantly changing. The dialogue is constantly evolving. So if a religious concern is your primary reason, I encourage you to speak to your leader. Be it Catholicism, Judaism, they have greatly changed their point of view. There's even gift of life literature now geared towards their religions. So if that is a concern for you, talk to your figurehead, your religious leader, and see where they stand on it, and make a decision that's best for you and your family. What organs and tissues can be donated? They include the heart, the liver, the kidneys, the pancreas, the lungs, the small bowels, the stomach, the corneas, the heart valves, the bone, and the skin. A big point to take home, and especially in the next point when it asks about pre-existing medical conditions, sexual orientation, your age, if you're in support of organ donation, let the doctors make the decision what can be donated. A lot of people, as we saw in the past slide, think that if they wear glasses that they aren't able to donate their eyes. The corneas aren't affected by your prescription, so that is something that can be passed on. I think the oldest organ donor I read just the other day was 91 or 92 years old. So age is not a concern if anyone is worried about that. The big point to take, and it's things, you know, you have obviously pre-existing medical conditions that can play a role on it. But if you don't know, sign it off and they'll take what they can. And that is making the greatest impact possible. A few myths and truths, and then I'll wrap things up here. I know we're on a 2 o'clock timeline. Anybody that dies can become an organ donor. That is greatly false. About 2% of those that die are eligible for organ donation due to the fact that to donate one's organs, the individual must be on life support when the doctor determines that medical treatment is no longer an option. So that's not often the case that that's where one is left at the time of death. So when you're already dealing with that numbers game and you have people that are kind of concerned with respect to giving, only 2% of those are even eligible. So then when you take those numbers backwards, you see why that list is just growing and growing. If I agree, again, to donate my organs and tissues, the doctors will not work to save my life. Again, that is greatly false. Moving on. That's the point about the glasses. Cornea donation is still possible. It's the front of the eyes, and it's not the reason why we wear glasses. So again, just let your doctors do the deciding. Touched on that point. If I receive an organ transplant in the future, that means I will not be able to donate once I die. Again, that's false. For Mom, who's had 2 liver transplants, will have a kidney transplant down the road. Blood, tissue, corneas, those are things that are still good for her to give. So again, just always sign things off. They'll make the decisions for you. At the very bottom, one donor, or one organ donor, can save up to 8 lives. One individual donor can save 8 lives and improve the life of 75 more. Those are huge numbers, and it's a big advantage to shrink those lists, to shrink the waiting list. One individual, when they pass, can save 8 people's lives off of that list. It's a no-brainer for our family, for our organization. We obviously support it. For a little bit of extra information, if you guys are interested, there are some websites for you. The beadonor.ca is a wonderful site, extremely user-friendly, as I said, and you can know your status and change your status within minutes. So I encourage you, as a closing note, to talk to your friends and families about this. The worst thing that we can do is not talk about it. Even if you guys decide that you're against it, you've at least made an educated decision. You've talked about it with your loved ones, and everyone knows your wishes. So on that, I thank you guys for coming out.
Wow, thank you very much, Jan and Jeff. I learned a lot today about PKD and organ donation, so thank you for your inspirational messages. Thank you everyone for coming to our Lunch and Learn today, and I wanted to share a quote with you from motivational speaker Tony Robbins, which I found on the Character Community website, www.charactercommunity.com. Life is a gift, and it offers us the privilege, opportunity, and responsibility to give something back by becoming more. Thank you, Jan and Jeff, for sharing your story with us today and your inspirational messages. Your words were you truly embody the York Region 11 character attributes. And it's no wonder why, Jan, you were recognized by the Character Community Foundation as the 2012 Citizen of Character. Thank you.
There's more pizza and there's brownies, help yourselves on the way out.
You too. Nice to see you too.
Organization